The holidays start here at Kroger with a variety of options to celebrate traditions old and new. You could do a classic herb-roasted turkey or spice it up and make turkey tacos. Serve up a go-to shrimp cocktail or use Simple Truth wild-caught shrimp for your first Cajun risotto. Make creamy mac and cheese or a spinach artichoke fondue from our selection of Murray's cheese. No matter how you shop, Kroger has all the freshest ingredients to embrace all your holiday traditions. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
When you download the Kroger app, you have easy access to savings every day. Get the most out of weekly sales and receive personalized coupons to save on your favorite items, all while earning 1 fuel point for every dollar spent. Kroger makes it easy to save while you shop, whether it's in-store or online, so you get the most value out of every trip, every time. Download the Kroger app now to save big on your next purchase. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Must have a digital account to redeem offers. Restrictions may apply. See site for details.
Welcome to Pretty Lies and Alibis. Join us as we seek the truth and travel the long road to justice. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Pretty Lies and Alibis. I'm Gigi Fruit Loop. What you know?
Did you know that bumblebees can fly higher than Mount Everest?
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, for people to get to the top of Mount Everest is crazy, but bumblebees can make the summit as well.
That's pretty cool.
What's funny is, so researchers who tracked two bees that were able to fly at more than 29,525 feet admitted that they were shocked at how high they could fly.
That's crazy. Nature's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yep.
Good deal. Look, so you know that like when I go to sleep, first of all, happy birthday. Your birthday was over the weekend and you got a lot of happy birthday wishes online. So
I did, and I want to say thank you to everybody. I read them all, tried to comment when I could, and it was really cool. I saw them all, read them all. If I didn't comment, I'm sorry, but I did read them all.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's good. I'm glad you had a good birthday weekend. So, you know, when I fall asleep, I find these crazy YouTube channels that I binge. First of all, I restarted The Sopranos yesterday, just from episode 1. I haven't watched it from the finale because it took me all this time to get over the finale. I was ticked. But
I never
man,
watched the show.
I forgot how great of a series that is, man. So I binged that a little bit yesterday. But at night, you know, I always watch YouTube. And I have found the coolest channel. It's called Weird History. And it's like short 10-minute videos about crazy stuff in history. And they break it down. And I'm just saying, if you like history kind of in a very condensed to the point form, check that. I don't get anything from recommending these dudes, but man, it's such an interesting channel. They have all kinds of stuff. So, all right. So for today, this week may be a little weird. My kids are on spring break and we were going to travel somewhere. And then my kids just have this social life now that gets in the way of everything. So, we're going to do some staycation stuff. We're going to do a day trip up to Pigeon Forge to go to the Crime Museum, go to Asheville. We're going to a concert in Atlanta this weekend. So just a lot around here, but we're not sure how our schedules are going to line up. So it may be that Fruit Loop does some solo, I do some solo, just kind of depending on what happens. So we're just going to jump in. There's a quick update with Josh Duggar. He is sentenced. His sentencing hearing is scheduled for April the 5th, but they've asked the judge to postpone that by 30 days. And in the filing, it says because of certain reasonable COVID-19 precautions understandably instituted at the jail at which Duggar is being detained, it has been more difficult scheduling meetings with Duggar than during more ordinary times. His lawyers say they've had a delay in scheduling certain attorney-client privileged meetings by video conference with Josh. And they also say that aside from Josh, they would benefit from a continuance to provide additional time. I'm sorry, they have other cases that are kind of in the way, and it would help them if this could be delayed. They also say regarding Josh, they need time to provide additional information and documentation, I guess, as to their argument for leniency. And from everything that I've read, I know in the beginning it was very kind of unknown if it was 20 or 40 years. Everything I'm reading now is 20 years, up to 20 years, and then the fine. So That's kind of where that is. We're just going to jump over real quick. Corey Fleming, who is allegedly Alec Murdaugh's co-conspirator, he had $100,000 surety bond set with a 10% cash option. He has to stay in the state of South Carolina and surrender his passport. So what's interesting to me is that he is charged with more in the Gloria Satterfield lawsuit than Alec is. But
Yeah.
him and this judge really did some backhanded stuff to keep that settlement out of public view. So I'm kind of curious at this point, are we going to see that judge indicted?
Here's
Um,
my other question. Are there more cases? That was
oh,
one.
oh yeah, probably. I read one about somebody, and I don't know enough about it to really discuss it, but it was somebody who was paralyzed in an accident who claims, I think that like they didn't get their settlement. I think you're going to find a lot of this comes out of the woodwork now,
Yeah.
especially people that may got a little bit of money, but now they're going back to see if it was the full amount they were awarded. I'm telling you, this is like this can of worms has been opened,
Yep.
and there's so many charges to come. So
Yeah.
we did not do an episode on Friday, and so we missed talking about the motion to sever that was heard for Chad. And it wasn't like a big revelation in this hearing too much. We still don't know Lori's status, and that is primarily the big grievance that Pryor has. And look, I'm not a huge fan, but I get where he's coming from with this filing. So, one thing that was interesting to note is that Pryor referred to Lori as Ms. Vallow.
Yeah.
And there have been times in the past he's referred to her, I believe, as Miss Daybell. And so that kind of caught my attention. So, as far as Lori's case, we still don't know her status. But on March the 18th, there were a couple of things listed in her portal on the court site, not her portal that flies her from like Arizona to Idaho. There was an order to seal something, and then there was another order that was posted below that. So we don't know. So doing the math, last time it took about a week for us to find out if she was competent or not. And we know that was extended. It's been a week since last Friday that the hearing was held. So I still haven't given up hope that she's competent yet. I think it would have been very easy if she's not competent for them to say at the hearing, it's been continued.
Yeah. But didn't Pryor say something about transport or something?
He kind of let something he says that he does not know her status. But then he said, and this is just me kind of grabbing something and maybe going the wrong direction, but he said, I haven't seen any order put in for her transport back to the jail. So for me, that kind of said, well, if he's looking for that, I mean,
Yeah.
maybe he
He
does kind of know her
knows.
status
Yeah.
on the down low or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
She could very well be not competent, but if you look at the statistics, we covered that in a previous episode. It's very seldom that they're not competent, even after 30 days. So I really do think my gut says she's competent. It's going to take a little bit more time if Archibald objects to her being found competent, which I'm told he can. You got to have a hearing. Well, jury trials are back
Yeah.
in session in Idaho. So it's not like Boyce has a free day now where
Yeah.
he has more gaps. It's a scheduling thing. Not only that, you have the logistics of getting her from where she is back down to Madison safely. And the public really can't know about that. Now it's time for our paid sponsor of the week, June's Journey. June's Journey is an awesome online game that is free to download and is perfect for all of the mystery loving fans out there.
I know we all love a good mystery. This game is just really cool. I've really enjoyed playing this game and going through all the chapters. Each chapter is full of twists and turns, and it really puts your observation techniques to the test while also sharpening your sleuthing skills, which we know we love, and enjoy the thrill of solving the case.
June's Journey is also set in the Roaring '20s, so the graphics in the game are incredible. It's fun to go back in time and search for hidden clues and scenes that really make you feel like you've stepped back in time. With June's Journey, you're able to sit back, relax, and let your inner Sherlock come out.
We all know we like Sherlock.
Yes, we do.
So June's Journey has new chapters every week, and there's always a new case to crack. With over 30 million downloads, June's Journey has become a new favorite game for so many, including me and you. I love the challenge, and I love games that allow me to search for hidden objects. It relaxes me, and I have fun playing it. Anytime I get a free second, I hop on June's Journey and try cracking the case.
Pretty Lies listeners, check out June's Journey today. There's a detective in all of us. Find your inner detective. Download June's Journey free today on the Apple App Store or Google Play.
When you download the Kroger app, you have easy access to savings every day. Get the most out of weekly sales and receive personalized coupons to save on your favorite items, all while earning 1 fuel point for every $1 spent. Kroger makes it easy to save while you shop, whether it's in-store or online, so you get the most value out of every trip, every time. Download the Kroger app now to save big on your next purchase. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Must have a digital account to redeem offers. Restrictions may apply. See site for details.
With Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to... Has anyone seen the bride and groom?
Sorry, we're here. We were getting lucky in the limo and we lost track of time.
No, Lucky Land Casino, with cash prizes that add up quicker than a guest registry.
In that case, I pronounce you lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Daily bonuses are waiting. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
So I just think that if we're still kind of thinking maybe she's competent, that may be some explanations as to why we haven't heard anything yet.
Yeah.
You got to look at business days too. It's we've been really 5 solid business days since they had that hearing, and so
Yeah.
we'll keep an eye out. I'm checking that portal very regularly.
And I don't think anybody has said, okay, it takes X amount of time to get back. So
Right. And I think that there's just, as big as this case is, there's probably logistics that for a standard inmate, they don't have to be as cautious, because you maybe have 3 or 4 people that are like families of the victim or the victims themselves that are even concerned about this person being moved. Well, Lori, it's the whole world. It's a big case. So there's a lot of
Exactly.
challenges. We will see. I still think she is, but you never know. Won't be surprised if she's not.
yeah. So Chad's motion to sever was heard Friday, and that's what we just talked about, right? And we hit on some of this. I just lost my place.
Well, the one other thing that we need to mention is that the motion to have the indictment and the death penalty against Chad dismissed is scheduled for this Wednesday, March 23rd. So we'll keep an eye on that one.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's a significant amount of preparation, and this is what Pryor's saying, of my work will depend on if these prior stuff, Chad isn't being considered in Arizona for 2 cases, but Lori is, and cases are together or separate. Boyce says the rule is narrow in scope of what can be presented in Lori's case with the Arizona charges. Blake says we are arguing the motion to sever. The state is requesting the court reserve ruling until the stay in her case is addressed. Blake then says it would be most appropriate in the interest of judicial economy and to preserve all rights of the parties that Ms. Vallow Daybell also be allowed to be heard regarding a motion to sever, since this also affects her trial rights. We believe that until a decision on the stay in her case is made, it would be premature to factor that into the decision to sever the cases. Boyce says if there are confessions or statements the court needs to know, be considered. Blake says the current time there are no statements of a Bruton issue. This is a case going back to 1968 about a joint trial with co-defendants where a postal worker took the stand and said one of his co-defendants confessed verbally to him, and that confession also implicated his co-defendant. The judge instructed the jury that it was hearsay and not admissible. The co-defendant appealed, asking the conviction to be tossed on the confession statement. The Supreme Court said the jury instructions were not enough and the statement was highly prejudicial, and to the co-defendant, making the trial unfair since the co-defendant didn't testify and couldn't be subject to cross-examination, which infringes on their Sixth Amendment rights. So Bruton held that a defendant is deprived of his Sixth Amendment right of confrontation when the incriminating testimonial statement of a non-testifying co-defendant is introduced at their joint trial, even if the jury is instructed to consider the confession only against the co-defendant. So in 2020, Fourth Circuit of Appeals Court said Bruton is simply irrelevant in the context of non-testimonial statements. Testimonial evidence does not include statements made to friends in an informal setting. And if a Bruton issue is found, most commonly they will sever the trial.
Yeah. Now, here's where I got a little bit confused during the hearing because she said, obviously, we're not aware of any statements. Shortly after that, though, Pryor said that because this is being streamed on YouTube, he couldn't present any evidence. And then Judge Boyce said we could go into a breakout session. So I don't know if he's indicating there has been a Bruton issue in this case that he just has not brought forth yet. So that'll be interesting to watch. I was a little confused, though. But that's kind of what I took away is that maybe Pryor is going to say that one of the co-defendants made a statement against that implicated the other. If that's the case, it's, All right. So Blake says they have a trial date and there's no indication that she will ask for a delay if she's able to move forward. She also said that limiting jury instructions is what the court is most comfortable with in situations where one defendant has other charges, not including the co-defendant. She says severing the trial will have a significant financial impact for the counties involved and that severing would double the 10-week time frame, obviously, that they've set for this trial, making it 20 weeks, which is a whole host of problems. If you could imagine, you got witnesses testifying twice, you got to move an entire county, essentially the employees that are relevant up to Boise. It's just a mess. And I get both sides, though. Like, I get Blake and them saying, we don't want this twice. Then you get into the issue of witnesses' testimony can differ. That becomes a big issue. And not only that, but the families sit through it twice. The counties are paying out huge expenses. But at the same time, I get Pryor's argument, really, at this point.
Yeah.
So Blake said if the delay is part of Pryor's argument, they have a waiver of a speedy trial by Chad. And she said, as of now, there's no delay, and Lori's case technically is still on for January with him as a co-defendant. And Pryor said there's a difference between a delay and uncertainty, and it's been uncertain from September of last year until now. He said the time to find out if we're going to trial in January of next year is now and not January of next year. He also said that Archibald, as of now, is unable to file anything because of her status. And he said they're aware Archibald can't file anything, and all they're asking the court to do is to wait and rule until they know her status. So Pryor said that Blake putting the burden on him to prove why they don't sever is inappropriate. It's not on Miss Blake to say we don't have Bruton issues. So I think he maybe is going to try and bring something in that was said probably by Lori, maybe even by Alex in a text or something. We don't know because had he been alive, he would be a co-defendant. And so it's not necessarily that it was just Lori.
Yeah.
It's maybe said something to implicate or, that would make Chad look guilty. So Pryor just said, I have a significant amount of preparation and I need to know. Lori's status hasn't changed since this was filed, and we have no certainties of how this is going to go. So Blake also said a joint trial would mean victims and witnesses would not need to repeat the inconvenience and sometimes the trauma of testifying, and randomly favoring the last tried defendants who had the advantage of knowing the prosecution's case beforehand. And that is a big deal because if Chad goes first, then Archibald's going to see everything they have against Lori, and he's got more time to kind of build her defense around that. So it's all a good point.
Yeah.
Ultimately, Boyce said he would take it under advisement and would issue a written ruling. I really think that her status is going to be what makes that ruling come out. I think we're close because I agree with Pryor. I mean, he's got to know because if this is a joint trial, his defense is going to be entirely different than if it's severed and just Chad.
Sure.
So I understand both sides.
And then here again, you look at, and I know Lori there's a stay, but like he said, Archibald can't file anything.
Right. Yeah. He is in a holding pattern.
Yeah.
You know, does that mean that he can't like sit back and work his defense as she's incompetent? Yeah, I mean, I think he can. He just can't file anything.
Yeah.
But when she is deemed competent, there's going to be a lot happening. We got to have that first appearance. They're going to introduce death on the table for her, I'm sure. So, you know, and then any issues that he has that he needs heard that hasn't been heard in a long time now. We got a lot of catch up to do with her. So even then, you know, it's like, I just don't know if these cases, even if she's deemed competent right now,
Yeah.
it's like, I don't know that this is the end of it for the Sever issue if she's competent.
Exactly.
So one other quick update, Alec Murdaugh's college roommate, as you guys know, he was indicted last week on a bunch of charges related to the Gloria Satterfield wrongful death suit. And he was booked Thursday on charges stemming from that fraud. His bond was set at $100,000 as a surety bond with him paying 10%. He's got to surrender his passport, can't leave South Carolina. I do believe he's bonded out. So that's kind of all we have for today. We're keeping an eye on the portal, on the court filings for Lori to see if there's any indication of what's going on. And other than that, we will see you tomorrow at some point and hope you guys have a good day.
When you download the Kroger app, you have easy access to savings every day. Get the most out of weekly sales and receive personalized coupons to save on your favorite items, all while earning 1 fuel point for every $1 spent. Kroger makes it easy to save while you shop, whether it's in-store or online, so you get the most value out of every trip, every time. Download the Kroger app now to save big on your next purchase. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Must have a digital account to redeem offers. Restrictions may apply. See site for details.
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.